Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm quickly showing you that add new employee, which we left yesterday because there were a lot of changes made. I had to redo all the configuration and everything, and I'll also tell you how I did it. Okay, so let's say we took Germany. Why I'm again taking Germany? Because I made all the changes related to this, although it will support everyone, but there might be some changes, so that's why. So what you do, very first thing, you take these initials, fill in all the required fields. I'm doing it a little quickly. That will be an issue. So now you understand why I always said that once we are done with position management, then I'll show you. This is the reason. You might have to create or add new position which is vacant. Did you try creating any employee in your system? Yes, no? Something. This was the one, I guess. Yes. Why it's not helping, I'll tell you. Reason being that particular sequence that is changed by somebody. But I will just try. 3-1. Oh, took it. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Okay. First day to work is required. Yes. That's great. Somehow it took the position that I entered. Maybe it just synced now. And see, the moment I did it, now it's on the same, next page. Next page is your this compensation information. So you have to fill in everything. Test. And you click on continue. Once every information is filled, of course, your HR will provide you this. Hmm. Problem. So I made few changes wherein the association and everything was not there, was there, of course. So I just removed it because somebody had done this association incorrectly. That's why yesterday we were not able to see anything. And now once everything is done, we click on continue or you click directly on submit. System will automatically create. See, this employee is hired. It says view profile of this employee or hire another employee. So I say, let's view it. Okay. Yes, no?
How that user ID has been created, even it doesn't sequence like
Yeah, of course, of
position
course.
ID.
Yes, you just go and check that. I showed that on other day that there is for department, division, whatever you want to, you can. See, department, new employee, set employee ID, correct? So this is how it's changing. So it started with one and some, okay, job external code, position code, same thing. Without sequence, you can't create it.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Now, who was going to explain us the time type? Just let me know. The whole purpose to tell you guys to go through it was that at least you go and see that whatever I will explain you, there's nothing. It's just the field. If you understand the field, you understand time type. That is how you create it. So I'll just walk you through, all of you. Let me know if whenever you have any confusion. First thing is your external code. Of course, any external code you have to give. Workflow, if you create this time type and you apply that time type, do you want to send or trigger a workflow? That's up to you. And which workflow? Whatever you have created, you can choose one of them. Now, a question arises how you can trigger a workflow. You can say through our transaction as well, I can assign a workflow to my time type. So, question comes from there. Now, unit, do you keep this time type in hours or days? Like annual leave are always in days, mostly, not always. And few places you pick that in hours as well, like corporate social responsibility leave, happiness leave, whatever. So they also give in hours. So which unit do you want? Which country is this for? Classification, attendance. That's mostly on timesheet, like you haven't marked your attendance right now, today. So is it that kind of leave? Absence, you were totally unavailable that day. You took a leave. So that means you are absent that particular day. So you choose absence. You were on a call, maybe in a client call or anywhere, and you were not able to access system or go to office. So you will create that one. You took a break, like in BPO, people generally do. They take half an hour break for lunch or dinner, whatever. When they go, they assign this. That comes under again in your timesheet. Extra, if you worked extra, I mean, what is that called? Extra, whatever we do, overtime, something like that. So what kind of leave are you creating? You can define it from here. Collision group, what is that? What is
Collision group is a like
Mhm.
type of leave that we give in the event reason. What reason? I mean,
No,
for what
that's
reason
okay.
we are applying for leave under that category? What type of leaves are allowed?
Almost there. So collision group means what kind of leave, like I go, I have fever, I apply sick leave. Unfortunately, there is an accident, I apply sick leave. So
Yeah,
what kind of leaves come?
clubbing the leave together, like sick leave
Correct.
and casual leave. So
Yes,
that they have a rules around in the corporate. So based on that.
correct, correct. So if there is a leave which is quite similar, you can add them here. Like this is what kind of collision group, under which collision group you can add. So I say earn leave means that could be on my annual leave, that could be clubbed with that. You click on this question mark, you see, you need to group time types. For the purpose of collision handling, use this field to specify the group you want this time type to belong to. You then enter the relevant group in the time management collision resolution object. Simple. I created it and I applied it. Whenever I apply, that goes to that particular group, that is called, let's say, on leave, sick leave, whatever. If you want to create more, you can click on it and you can create. Now, what is requesting on non-working day? Can you request this leave on non-working days like Saturday, Sunday? That's up to your organization. Yes, no. You're creating a new one, right? So I have few.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm trying to create another one, it will ask for that external code for this collision group. It's not for time type. For the
Okay.
collision group, you're creating a new collision group, and you're giving an external code for it. Accrual recalculation release. What is accrual?
Accommodation?
No, accrual is like every year, 1st January, if let's say I say 1st January to 31st December, your work schedule work, I mean your time period. So every 1st January, you get 20 leave, 24 annual leave, 25, 18, whatever your company provides. Means leaves are accrued in your account, means what number of leaves you get. So accrual means you are collecting all the leaves which you deserve. So it says accrual recalculation. How would that recalculation work? Is that will that be a relevance? If you say no, it will not run. It will not impact the calculation. If you say full, means every time there is a change in your system or data, the entire accrual will run accordingly. The recalculation will work. Accrual is like I have 20 leaves and I get every year. Every year I get 20 leave, annual leave. That is my accrual leave. I accrue that many. Or sometime you will see that every month you have 24 leaves in a year. That means 2 leaves every month, correct? That's what it means.
Yes, Sanjay.
Yes.
Now, 2 leaves means every month you are accruing 2 leaves. The moment you jump to the 30th or last day of the that, automatically 2 leaves get accrued in your data. That means you are accruing it, you are clubbing it, getting it. Undetermined end date allowed. There are some leaves where are no determined leaves like career break leave, secondment leave. You don't have any end particular date. For even maternity leave, you have end date, but not for these leaves. So if you say yes, there would not be a particular date when you have to define when you're coming back. What kind of absence is this? Unspecified, like other or sickness. So generally we pick unspecified. It's not for sickness. So when you run a report, that helps you. How would you count this leave? Click on it. There are AP counting method. I mean, you can create your own. Like which day will you count? Like I created one and I said this format you should follow. So whenever I take this leave, Monday you will count yes, Tuesday you will count yes. I say Wednesday you will not count, Thursday again yes. Then you will count Friday. So it's just like that. You take 10 days leave, send 10 days. If I count like 1, 2, I mean regular numbers, today is 7, 16 will be your 10 day, including today, right? But when you take leave, system automatically exclude your weekends. Yes, no.
Yes, indeed.
So when that includes exclude your weekend, in that also you say when you take this leave, you will not count Wednesday. So system will not count it. So that's what counting method is. Permitted fraction for unit. Can you take this leave only for full day, or you can take book it for half day as well, or you can book it for quarter day as well. You will see some leaves you can only book for full day, not for half day, right? Whatever unit you choose at the top, that only you have to work on. The other one you will have to skip. So I chose day as unit, so I will specify only full day. Let's say for an example, leave of absence event reason is what? You go to event reason, you will create it. Means the moment you apply this leave, and if you have applied a particular event reason here, automatically system will update the employee status like that. Now here you will see every event reason has a employee status. The moment I apply, let's say this, I said, okay, in this event reason, you should apply that one. Now, the moment people or any employee apply this leave, automatically their employee status will change to unpaid leave. And when I say when it comes back, I think I got cold. Okay, return from this. Automatically their status will become active. So if you provide the event reason, automatically the data will pick that up. If not, that's not a mandatory field, you can skip it. Now duration based on either work schedule, I mean what you work schedule you are using, you're working Monday to Friday, so of course you can take this leave based on Monday to Friday or calendar days. Calendar days means 30 days. Any day you can take. No weekend, nothing. Deduction quantity, whatever I define the deduction quantity, that this much should be deducted automatically. We generally use work schedule or calendar days. So I said work schedule. Activate cancellation workflow. What is that? Like when I apply a leave, then a workflow was triggering. I want to cancel my leave. Do you want to trigger a workflow, the same workflow as well? When somebody cancels it, you say yes, that means it will directly go there. Admin workflow configuration, what is this? Like in your system, you can see Anya is the master admin. Now, if she makes any changes, system will automatically pick that. Do you want that or not? If you say this one, whenever any admin goes and change anything, a workflow, this workflow should trigger. If you don't choose any, that means when she changes anything, it will automatically get updated. There would not be any approval that will be needed. So that's why you must have seen whenever I was changing, most of the time things were getting saved automatically. Flexible requesting allowed. I took leave. Let's say today is Guru Nanak Jayanti. I don't want to take this. I want to take this leave somewhere else. I want to adjust it somewhere else. Optional leave kind of thing. You can take that. Or if you choose yes here, employee can enter a booking amount that varies from the planned working time in the work schedule. If you choose no here, requesting quantities are derived from the working hours. Okay, so I have this Guru Nanak Jayanti, I don't want to take it, but if I say yes, I can go ahead and mark that. Balance calculation setting, how you want to consider this balance. Consider booking after calculation date or consider booking until calculation date. Means today is 7th and I apply a leave for 30th of October. Do you want that system to deduct my one leave today itself or when 38 comes? You must have seen that sometimes when they apply a leave, what happens? Then and there your one number will be deducted. But in some cases, unless that day come, it doesn't get deducted. So how do you want to work on this? You say after, of course, after 30th it will get deducted. If you say until, it will get deducted then and there. Absence retention group. What is retention group? When do you want to retain it? That's up to you. Now, what is that? Data purge. I have a data in the system. When do I want to completely remove it from the system? So data retention is that. Do you want to retain this system or not? If yes, of course, you have to provide one retention group. You can go to manage data. Time management. You can create your own, whatever you want. Let's see, a lot of them are there already. Okay. So absence retention group you can create from here. You can search for data retention. Time management is this. You go and check anyone. Oh, that's it. So from retention group, you can. Where was that? Time management. You can pick any one of them, or you can create your own. That's up to you. Now, what is posting priority? Now, how would system post your time type in this? Either you go to post to time account by defined time account period, based whatever manual adjustment you want to do, or you want to do it through rule. Means the moment you choose this, system will ask to apply a time account type, because every rule is created in time account type itself. Okay. Now here comes your time account type part. Okay. So either you click on this plus sign or you generate your own through this. Totally up to you. Make sense? Yes? No?
Put the workflow configuration for this account with
Mm-hmm.
time type.
So workflow is general. You will just create a general workflow, and that workflow will come in your option. Whatever workflow you create, like you created one workflow called 1, 2, 3, whatever, you can see that workflow here. You don't have to bring it from anywhere. Whatever you create, you will find it here. That's what you were asking, or did I miss something?
Yeah, same thing only, but how we can manage that workflow? So it depends upon level to level, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like for association group, they have a lead and then as a manager approval. So 2 level of approval or 3 level of approval. So then if you go above manager level, there is a kind of other workflow approval will be there. So how we can choose for that? For that depends upon the employee position as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. So see, if you create one workflow and those approvers are not there, then of course you have to create a new one. Unless you create a workflow with a particular approver, you won't be able to trigger it to anyone. Do you remember how we created approval, sorry, workflows? Yes,
I
no?
have to recollect. I have to recollect.
Yeah, just see that. Uh, so whenever you create any workflow, there are some approvers that you have to define. Just go through that video. If you have any confusion, I'm here. I will explain it. So don't worry. But in that, whatever approver you define, only those people will receive it. If you feel one workflow can only be sent to manager, but I want to send it to 3 different people, then of course you have to create another one and attach it here.
This workflow configuration is related to time type, like leave type,
Mm-hmm.
and level of approval is related to employee.
Mm-hmm.
So how we are differentiating this workflow configuration, like leave type, suppose for PL, my level of approval is 2, but some security level, security grade people level of approval is 3. Then how we are going to differentiate here the workflow configuration of same leave
Okay.
type?
Uh, Give me your example again, please. Sid.
See,
So
suppose I am a manager, I have only 2 level of approval, and
Mm-hmm.
a security guard have 3 level of approval for same time type.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose casual leave. So
Mm-hmm.
here the workflow configuration is related to time type PL.
Okay,
Okay.
done.
So then where is the employee specific workflow? Like for my position, I have 3 level. For security guard position, have my position have 2 levels. Security guard position have 3 level for same leave type.
Mm-hmm.
So how we are differentiating that workflow? Where?
So you don't have to, is this mandatory? No, you don't need to choose it here. You will go and apply your rule. If you remember when we did our rule part, I said we can assign workflows as well in the rule with
Mm,
visibility,
okay.
mandatory. There was a part I showed you also the workflow value you can assign here. So there you will create a rule and you will say that if the job code or let's say job title is manager, then this particular workflow will trigger. So this particular workflow will only go to manager, let's say for an example. If else if the job code is, let's say, whatever, executive, analyst, senior analyst, then the other workflow will trigger, and you will assign that rule here. Take rule. Now system will pick that. It will say, okay, your job title says manager. It will only trigger that particular workflow, which only goes to managers. But if your job title is analyst, senior analyst, whatever, lower than manager, then it will trigger to those three people who are in a different workflow.
Then
Then you
again,
will.
the business rule.
Mhm.
Then again, the business rule will be like we have to define for each and every department, each and every job position. Like the grouping also should be considered, right, Sanjay?
Everything, of course, everything. You
So
have to.
I would request if you have any rule, if you could show us, that will be great in next class.
Everything is there. Don't worry. Don't have to worry. You just go to your system.
Just as Aarti said, if I apply for sick leave or casual leave, I'm in associate level, then my approval will be like one level of approval. So probably my manager also. If a manager applying for a leave, then could be like two levels of approval.
That's okay. So there could be, see, every company and every person might have their own scenario. So it's very hard to find one particular one. But if you go to your demo server, you just write time or annual, something like that. You will see a lot of rules. Annual leave India. I click on it. Then I see, see, if the employee time type external code is India, annual, sick leave today, and the start date is today. Annual leave, this system will, I mean, this error will be thrown for this, whatever error is this. You can just go and read it. You said that's not my data. You move to the other one. I mean, just I'm showing you examples. Everything is there. Annual is set. Better to go to leave or time. Accrual leave by seniority. Based on your seniority, you will get your leaves. So you get all these data. Of course, this is a tougher one. We created for people, so it says take this, you will get confused. Workflow. This is again for salary, for that. Let's take some time. So, okay, let's start with this one. Okay. I said, see, job and model, job information, time recount variant is duration, and then set this one. I mean, you will have plenty of example here already created. Few of them might have been created by me only, but I don't remember right now. Rule based on recorded time, different time type. Just first time, see that. It's better we create one quickly. Let me show you. I go to the time management. You take any approval or maybe this. If you see, but you have to create one for employees. So you go and you say, of course, you have to add job information. I said, okay, no, let me add job information. Text job information, your employee data, whatever, what it says. Job title, job title, it is equals to whatever. Let's say you said manager, then workflow, value, whatever. Let's say I said when your job title says manager, of course, if you have manager, then this, or else if your job title is whatever, analyst, or I mean whatever your company says. Let's say analyst, or I mean of course you have to create those every data, then set. You pick any other workflow, and now you assign it there in that time type. Simple. Now, if your system says that this job title is equals to manager, fix that, then automatically it will trigger this workflow, or else it will trigger this one. Done? Or let's say for your example, somebody says, okay, only for manager this workflow will trigger, and rest for everyone this one. So you don't have to create it. You'll just say, if the job title is manager, this workflow will trigger, or else just say this is always true, and then this workflow will trigger. You don't utilize this. Done? Of course, I mean, this is the exact thing that you write. And you just go ahead and assign this workflow to, I mean, this rule to time type. Done? Yes, no? Okay. Now, time, okay. Now, time account type is what? Time account type is like a bank for you. I said I have time type called annual leave, and I want to give you 24 leaves. How would I know that? How would system know that? There isn't any other data where I will define it. So any leave which has a quota, number of leaves assigned to it, that will require a time account type with it. So every leave which has some number will require a time account type. Any leave which has no numbers like sabbatical leave, career break leave, you don't need to create a time account for them. So they will ask you, what is time account type and why do we need it? Simply say whenever you want to assign some number of leaves or number of, or quota to a particular leave or time type, then you need time account type. Now, you give it an external code. Payout eligibility, if you say eligible for that, then of course you have to define other things like, okay, I will pay you out, but under which pay component? Under which pay component group, and what is the pay component will be. If you say not eligible, that's okay. If you say eligible for self-service, data will automatically pick you. I mean, you can reimburse your leaves. That's what we do every year. If we have more than leaves, some company says you can get a reimbursement for your leave. Happens? Yes, no?
Yes.
I say not eligible. Generally, we don't give it. Unit again, hours, days. Make sure whatever unit you have taken in time type, you take same here. Account creation type, what kind of account will be this? Recurring means every year or every month, whatever you say, this will reoccur and it will create it. Or permanent means I gave you 20 leaves today, and that 20 leaves will go on that entire till, let's say, 1 year or 2 year. Next year again I have to give you manually. It will not reoccur automatically. Or ad hoc, I mean whenever needed I can go and update it for you. But generally we do create based on the recurring account. The moment you choose anything, fields will change, although every field will come. I said recurring. So it will ask, okay, what will be the frequency of this accrual? When do you want to run that accrual? Every week, bi-weekly, monthly, twice a month, annually, only once only, or daily? Accrual means system will run from the backend and it will give you that accrual. I mean, of course, it will check how many leaves you have and it will update your data. Let's say I said annually because that is an annual leave. Entitlement method, how would you get this? Entitled as accrued, the more you accrue, more you get. As transferred, I mean whatever I transfer to you, only that amount you will get, or else system will automatically run from the backend and it will give you that leaves as you accrue. Like every month I get 2 leaves automatically. That is, I am getting it as I'm accruing it. But let's say I don't want to that. So I will say, okay, every month I will give you 2 leaves as an admin, or 24 I gave you at once. So that's up to you. I said accrued because accrual we will be using. Termination rule, data effective date. When will you run that termination rule? Accruable start date or accruable end date? What is accruable and start date? Aarti? What is accruable start or end date?
Which month, from which month this accrual is going to start?
Correct. Correct. When do you want this leave to be uh, to start their accrual? Like we do it for ourselves. So annual leave starts from 1st of January, isn't it? And ends at, let's say, 30th of January, 30th of December, 31st of December. So when do you want to run this on termination date? Simulate accrual, simple. You go and add everything. Simulation means you add everything. Whenever you run an accrual, everything will be counted. You click on this. Choose yes to allow the system to simulate future accruals. Means I took a leave in November, and when I run this simulation, data will automatically count that leave also. Review account value. If you choose no, only time of up to the accrual amount already posted can be requested. I took a leave in November, that will not be counted. Only till now, till 7th of October, whatever I did, whatever leave I took, that will be available in the system. So that's up to you. Accrual creation offset. The accrual creation offset means when do you want to run that accrual? Maybe I am in October, tomorrow, I mean next month it will be November, and I want my system to create my leaves for 2022 1 month prior to this, not on the 1st of January. If I say 0, then 1st of January it will create. When I say 30, it will create 1 month before. So means my accrual will be created on 1st of December itself. So that from 1st of January, automatically I will get those number of leaves. Even if I say 0, that's still okay. It will run on, the accrual will be created on 1st of January. So whenever you want, you can do it. Click on it. You must enter a number in this field if you are using it in the rule. The offset defines when the time account change calendar for automatic approval should be created. So automatically, if I say 30 days before automatically approval will be created. Generally, we give it 2 days or 7 days, so a week before that is there. Or sometimes we also give it 3 days or maybe leave. Time from recruitment to first approval. Now, you must have seen when you get hired somewhere, after 15 days you get your first leave. After 3 months you get your first leave. Somewhere, I'm not saying everywhere. Some companies do that. They say you can't take leave till 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. That's what system is asking. From the time of your recruitment, the first approval, when should it start? If I say 15, automatically after 15 days it will start working. If new recruits don't start to accrue time off immediately, but only after a specific period, enter the relevant number of years. It works in combination with the time unit from recruit to first approval to determine the period. Okay. I said 15. After 15 days, it will start appearing for you. Time unit from recruitment to first approval, first, whatever, days, weeks. I said days. If you say weeks, so after 15 days, so I said days. After 15 days. Recruit rule, when you hire somebody, how would you do that? So for that, I will be attaching one document wherein there are almost 100 rules, almost 100, I'm not saying exactly, but almost 70, between 70 to 100 will be there, including country-based rules. And I will highly recommend you just to go and practice those at least 30-40 rules, which are essential. I'll tell you. Just practice it. If you can't practice it, at least go and see that rule. Of course, you won't be able to create that many rules, but out of that, at least 10, 15 you should, which I'll tell you. How will you do that? See the document and start creating that rule in the system. Step by step. There are 15 to 20 essential rules. If you remember that rule, trust me, wherever you go to work, only those rules you have to create initially. It doesn't matter which country, which client you work. Those 15 to 20 rules will be mandatory. You have to have. The rest, of course, that depends on the customization. So please practice those 20 at least. No, if can't do that 40, but I will recommend whenever you have time, just go and see all those rules. Recruit rule will be one of them. Means when you hire somebody, how many leaves that person should have. That is there. Am I clear? But again, I'm telling you, you have to go and practice those 20 leaves. Yes? No? Of course, that will not come in your certification. Uh, Not even in your interview, I would say, because people hardly ask you about rules in time of. They might, but hardly. But you should know when you start working on that, you will get to recreate. Same goes with your termination rule. Accrual based on standard, keep always standard. Recorded time is only for timesheet. Leave of accrual automation, no automation. If you say automatically create accrual, system will create automatically accrual, which should be the one. And accrual rule as well. Generally, recruit rule and accrual rule are same because 1st of January automatically you will get as a new recruit. Now, what is recalculation field? If I say my recalculation field is, let's say, company, means whenever there is a change in your data for company, system will automatically run a calculation for this time type or time account type, and it will give you that many leaves which you deserve. So every time there is a change in this company or recalculation field, you will get this system run and it will count your leaves. What is frequency? That is there already. Account creation start date. When will your account create? Sorry. I say employee recruit date, whenever you hire somebody, or account valid from day 1 or month for time account type. I said generally we use this one, and I'll tell you why. Flexible means you can take it anytime. But I say this. Why? From here only I define when will be your leave running from to which date. So like I said, in my company, 1st of January, we assign annual leave from 1st of January till 30th, 31st of December. But there could be some other organization wherein leave starts from 1st of April. Yes? No? So here we will see period and processing automation. I will come to that, so don't worry. But I say booking account booking offset means if I say 1, that will be 1st of January. If I say 3, that will be 1st of March. 4, 1st of April. What is period and processing? Let's say I have 24 leaves annually and I only took 15. That means 9 are left. So in few organizations, what they say you just remove everything. I mean, no leave will be carry forwarded. And few organizations says no, all will be carry forwarded. Or the third kind is a particular amount will be only carry forwarded. Like out of 9, only 5 will be carry forwarded. Now, how do you want? That depends on the period and processing rule. So period and processing means at the end of your period, how many leaves do you want to carry forward? So I say it should be automatic at the end of booking period. So my booking period ends at 31st of December or whatever date I say. Offset I say, let's say 1. Posting order. What is posting order? I take leave in January, then February, March, April till this time. Which leave will be coming on the top? Which leave will be showing on the top? Do you want the oldest one? Okay, sorry, not the posting order. It says newest first by validity period, oldest first by validity period. So what is validity period? My annual leave is valid from 1st of January till 31st of December. That is my validity period. But in few organizations, they say, that's okay, you could not take your leave. I will give you another 1 month and you can book your previous year's leave. That is your bookable period. How do you want system to show your leave? Based on the newest one, based on your validity period, or oldest one? And newest based on the bookable period, or the oldest one based on your bookable period? So I took a leave on January 1st. So if I say newest, the recent one I took in October will be coming on the top. If I say oldest, then some leave that I took in January will come on the top. So whatever your company says, you choose based on that. The rule again, it will be a part of that document that I'll share it with you. It says balance cannot fall below, like I exhausted all my leaves, my 24 leaves, but I want more leaves. I said, okay, let me take some leaves this year. Next year from my leave, you just deduct it. So how many leaves do you want to give? If I say -5, means at the most you can take more 5 leaves. But of course, -5 means it will be deducted from your next year amount. Allowed to borrow time, enter a negative number here. The time unit is derived from the unit in the time account type. If employees are not allowed to take all the leave they have, but must leave, say 5 days on the time account instead of holiday. Okay, getting me? So I said I can book another 5 days, but that 5 days will be deducted or adjusted from my next year's leave. Yes, no?
Yes.
Just now country region, interim account update rule, again one of the rule. External code, you give it here. Time account snapshot, just take a snapshot. It says choose yes if the field to enable generation of time account snapshot. Simple. Account retention group, again your purge data. If you want to, you can go from there. You can run it from manage data. Account details retention group, whatever the details are there, if you want to keep it or not. And then time account configurational group. That's a normal one. It's not needed, but you can check that in your document. Is this time profile is just like your holiday calendar. What do? You assign all the time types here. You give it a name, like USA we had, you remember? Time account type working for working time account. If you have, you will assign it. Not needed. Time account type for time off in lieu. What is in lieu? Like I worked on 15th of August and I want to take a leave on that behalf. If you have created for that, you can assign one. Import attendance time type. If you want to import, then you can choose which one do you want to import from, or you can go and create one. Okay? All these, but you don't need that. You already have that. Time recording variance. What is this? Duration and clock time. Now duration is, you told me you'll be working 9 hours a day. It doesn't matter when I log in, when I log out. That's duration. Clock time, I said you'll be working 9 hours, but from 9 to 6. So clock time means based on your clock, you get a time. Clear? Yes, no?
Yes.
Now, next. Main absent time type, what does that mean? Whatever time type you choose here, that will be available. You see, whenever you go and try to apply leave, the very first leave you see is annual leave. How? Because that is set as the main time type. So it will come at the top. That's it. Yeah. Now, country, you choose which country this is for. Main attendance time type, then sorry, main absence this one. So just vice versa. So absence, which one do you want? Which absence do you want to classify here? And what time type? So maybe attendance and other will also come under this, like attendance. But here you only see the absence one. External code you give any random external code. Status should be active. Update TOIL. TOIL means time of in lieu account only when changes approved, means I applied a leave for 15th of August. Unless that is approved, that will not be updated in the system or in this. Or if you say no, then accordingly it will work. Update working time account only when change is approved. Whenever you have any working time account is what? Your leaves. So unless that is approved, it will not update it. Or if you say yes, yes. Unless this is approved, this will not get updated. Now you start attaching all the time types you have created. And enable an employee. Do you want your employee to go and apply this? Or you don't? If you say no, then only admins will do this from backend. They will not have access to apply this leave from the front end. Enable an employee in employee self-service means they can self-apply. Will that be favorite one? There are 4 that you can pick, or 3 I guess, as favorite one, not more than that. Favorite means it will appear on the top if you want to take. Other you will have to choose from the drop down. So only maximum 3 you can see. External code, you can give any random external code here for all these. Let me go and show you one which is already there. I say a time profile for USA. All these standards on there. You can see all the time types are here. They assigned it, gave a random external code, give everything to employee self-service, but military one is quite secured, you can say, or very sensitive one. So this is not available to employees. They can't apply it. Only users will raise a request and HR admin or somebody will do it. Favorite time type 1, 2, and 3. If I go and try to make any other leave as favorite, so I think 4 are allowed now. It will not accept. You cannot determine more than 3 times as favorite. Okay, so I can only use 3. It will throw an error. Now, what is absence? Available allowance time. If you have any allowance type, like you work, so some people work, let's say, 2 shifts at a stretch. So you created an allowance type that, okay, if you work this many hours, you will get an allowance. So that will you can create it. Again, this is again nothing but time type. Just like that, you can create it. Any allowance you want to, and then you have it, and you just see. Now, once you have created everything, because what we did, we assigned time account type. What we do, we assign time account type to time type. Why? Because this is a quota. If I have updated it, whatever numbers I given here, that will be assigned to time type. And now I will assign this time type to time profile and the time profile to the employee. Where, if you remember, we already did it. We go to employment, job information. You assign your time profile. just like your holiday calendar. Are we clear? Yes, no? Of course, they see, I know time of, that's why if you remember, I told you it's not overnight thing that you can do. It will take a little time, a little confusing. All I would suggest, just practice it. Don't focus much right now because it will not come in your certification and interview unless you tell them. They will not ask much. So I would suggest focus on other employee central parts more, but do practice on time off as well. That's why I have that document wherein every rule is explained in detail. Not explained, I mean, of course, explained there, but you can just go and see that. Any number of rules you want to learn, you can learn it from there. All sort of rules are there, like country based, like in Saudi Arabia, you might have a different rule. They have that. India, they might have a different. They may have it. Are we clear with time off? Okay, guys, have a great evening then. Let's meet tomorrow.